You're listening to the Life Coaching Secrets Podcast, episode number 95. Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets. What's up, coaches? In this episode, I'm going to talk about the difference between coaching and consulting. Now, I made an episode way back, episode 2, on coaching versus therapy. And a lot of people have shared with me that they appreciate the distinction I make between coaching and therapy because it helps people understand the value of both and how a therapist and how a coach work differently. And one of the topics I haven't yet covered is how coaching differs from consulting. So I'm going to break down what those approaches look like when it comes to supporting people, and also answer one of the questions I'm commonly asked, which is, can you offer both when you are supporting people? Now, if you've been listening to the show, you may have noticed that I was doing a series of podcasts during the holiday season. And my intention was to produce 12 episodes, but then that abruptly stopped because I got sick. And I should have known because I do usually get some kind of cold in the time between Christmas and New Year's. And that happened this year. So I needed to pause on the podcast. And then it was the holidays. And then January was a very exciting and productive month within Thriving Coach Academy. We had 2 modules for our coaches. We had a module for our more advanced coaches where they were wrapping up their training and learning about business strategies to begin launching their coaching businesses. And we also had a module for our brand new coaches. So we had a whole new cohort of students kicking off their coach training, putting together all the foundational skills, and beginning their journey as coaches. So very exciting month inside Thriving Coach Academy. We welcomed a bunch of new students over the past month. And now that things have died down a little bit, I'm able to be more available to put out some more podcast episodes. And I'm super excited. I have a bunch of episodes on deck that I've been really eager to share. So let's dive in. Now, when it comes to coaching, a lot of people that are drawn to coaching, they say that they are comfortable giving people advice and they like to provide people with ideas and strategies. And sometimes they think that what they're doing is coaching. And once they get inside the academy, they realize that they have not been coaching at all. What they've been doing is consulting. Okay? So a lot of people misuse the word coaching for consulting. Coaching is not giving someone advice. Coaching is not telling someone what to do. And although a lot of people do say, oh, I'm coaching this person, all they're doing is they're advising. They're consulting. They are giving someone a solution, a strategy, or an answer. So that is the big distinction between coaching and consulting, because as a coach, you actually don't give your clients answers because you don't see yourself as the source of those answers. So when you're working with a client as a coach, you see the client as the source of answers. They are the source of their own wisdom and ideas. And as a coach, you are supporting them in discovering those answers. You're helping them remove anything that is preventing them from accessing all of those answers from within. Okay, so that is the biggest distinction to understand. So when you have a client come to you and they present a challenge and they want support on it, you're not just going to start telling them, well, here's what I would do. Here's how I would approach it. Here's the path I would take, and here's what I think you should do. None of that is happening when you are offering purely coaching. Coaching takes on the premise that the client has the answers within, and it's your job to help them realize that and connect to that. Okay, so that is one of the big distinctions. Consultants often tell people what to do, whereas coaches do more asking. So consultants tell, coaches ask. Coaches will ask lots of empowering questions to help people understand what ideas could help them move forward, and also better understand themselves. All right. So, for example, let's say that you have a goal to launch a business, and you are working with a business consultant and you're working with a business coach. I'm going to share with you how this is going to look differently depending on who you hire. And there's no better or worse per se. It's just like with therapy versus coaching in that episode. I make it clear that it's not that therapy is better or worse than coaching. It's just about knowing that each approach is different and each is going to have a different effect. And each might have a different benefit depending on what the person's wanting. So when you hire a business consultant, the consultant is going to say, okay, here's the best strategy for you to market your business. Here's what you need to do. Go do it. So they're going to give you the plan. They are going to give you the ideas. And that plan is coming from their personal experience and it's coming from their expertise. Okay. So when people look into coaching, sometimes people think, oh, I don't know if I will be a great coach because I don't have a lot of experience. I don't have a lot of expertise in my life. And this was a concern I had when I got started as a coach. I was in my early 20s and I did not have a lot of life experience. I didn't have much expertise that I could offer someone. So I thought, maybe I need to wait until I'm older and have more experience before I can be an effective coach. But then I realized that coaches do not rely on their life experience to support their clients. Coaches don't need to have expertise in any area except the coaching process. I want to say that one more time so it really sinks in. As a coach, you don't need expertise on any area of life. All you need expertise on is the coaching process. As long as you know how to understand the coaching process, you will be an impactful coach. You will transform your clients' lives. What does it mean to be impactful in the coaching process? That means that you're able to understand how people's minds work, how people think, and how people can break through limitations. Okay, so as long as you understand all those things, and that's a learnable skill. That's exactly what we teach in the academy. We teach you how to understand how the mind works. We teach you how to understand ways you can listen at a deep level and exactly what questions to ask so that way your clients have breakthroughs. So once you become an expert in the coaching process, you'll realize that you don't need to use your own life experience in order to help someone move forward. So back to my example, when you hire a business consultant, they're going to say, okay, here's my expertise and here's what I recommend you do. Go out and do that. But let's say that you're given a plan and you don't follow through, or you realize that you have things get in your way. You become distracted. You start having self-doubts. You start having fears. You're stuck. Consultants are not trained to help people get unstuck. Coaches, although, understand exactly how to navigate all of those inner blocks that keep people from moving forward. Now, we live in an age where we have access to really all the answers we could ever want at our fingertips. We could Google any type of question and have an answer within seconds. But if we have access to all of this information, then why is it that people are not hitting their goals? Why is it that people still get stuck? Why is it that people don't have their dream body, their dream career, and are hitting all of the big goals that they have in their life? Well, it's because there's something going on that's not being addressed. And that's where coaching comes in. Coaching helps uncover what it is that's keeping someone from moving forward and releasing all of those barriers, okay? So let's go back to our example. Let's say that you have a person, they hire the business consultant, they're given the exact plan of what they need to do, the exact marketing strategy to grow their business, but they're not following through. Well, this person decides, you know what, I'm going to hire a business coach and I'm going to try out coaching and see how that's different for me. And that client's going to find that when they hire the business coach, the experience is totally different because the business coach is not going to tell the client what to do. Okay, they are going to ask the client questions and uncover what does the client really want? Why is it important for them? And what's getting in their way? And how could they release all the things holding them back? Okay, so that is a big difference between coaching and consulting. So coaches, they don't spend much time talking in sessions with clients. I often tell our students in the academy, if you are talking more than 50% of your sessions, you are talking way too much. You're taking up way too much airtime. Your client is going to do most of the talking in your sessions. Now, they're not just going to babble on and on. You're going to know how to redirect that conversation and how to make sure that they're moving themselves to a place where they're going to get themselves where they want to be. So coaches don't do so much talking. They do a lot more listening than consultants. Coaches are not giving information. They are asking questions. Coaches are not offering ideas, but they are generating ideas from their clients. Okay? Coaches often don't really share their own personal experience or stories. What they do is they tap into their client's experience and their client's perspective. Coaches also don't tell or present solutions. What they do is they expand their client's thinking so their client can tap into solutions. Okay? And rather than giving recommendations, a coach empowers a client to choose their path and to choose how it is that they want to move forward. So as a coach, there's not really this pedestal that you're on where you are seen as the authority and you are seen as the one with all the answers. A coach, the way I like to see it is the coach is standing side by side with their client. And they're standing side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and they're looking forward. And the coach is there to help the client take that step forward. Even if it's taking a step into an unknown, taking the step forward and trusting that they're going to be okay and trusting in themselves and the decisions that they make. A consultant, rather than standing shoulder to shoulder with their client, the consultant is like standing a few steps in front of their client and say, hey, come here, listen to me, follow me, and let's go. Okay, so different approaches, and it's going to have a different experience depending on the client. Right? So those are the main distinctions that a coach has from a consultant. And again, there's no one that's better or worse. They're just different. They're different approaches, different ways of getting support. Now, one question that often comes up is, okay, but can I offer both? Like if I do have a lot of life experience and I do have expertise, then am I able to both coach and consult? And the answer is yes, you absolutely can. And I think this is a great way to leverage your own expertise with the power of the coaching process. So it's like if you blend together coaching and consulting, I once heard this term coach-sulting, where you are both a coach and a consultant. You're a coach-sulting. You can totally do this, but there's a few things that are important to keep in mind. Firstly is to make it clear to your client that you are going to be offering a blend of coaching and consulting. Make sure that they know that certain times you may provide them with direct support. You will provide them with direct recommendations or strategies and ideas. And other times you're going to wear your coaching hat where you're going to pull ideas from your client. You're going to ask them powerful questions so that way they can surface their own possibilities, so they can connect to their own inner genius. So make it clear when you are offering both your coaching and your consulting, so your clients know that they're going to get a blend of both. Now, you can also divide some of your work with clients to be part of it where you're strictly wearing your coaching hat, and then part of it where you're strictly wearing your consulting hat. So for example, let's say that you are doing a group coaching program where you've got 10 clients and they're all having a similar goal where let's say they want to lose weight. So maybe in your 1 hour group coaching session, you rather than spend an entire session just coaching, maybe you spend the first 15 minutes directly consulting your group. So answering specific questions people have, giving them an exact strategy for how they can achieve their weight loss goals over the next week, and laying it out for them. You do that for the first 15 minutes. And then for the remainder of the session, the remaining 45 minutes, you say, okay, so here's your plan. Who feels like they're going to get stuck? Or who's got some self-doubts or concerns around this? Now is the time when I'm going to coach you through that. So then you can offer coaching for the remainder of that session. And I think there's so much power in being able to offer both coaching and consulting. Now, when I got started as a coach, as I said, I was really young. I didn't have a lot of life experience, and I only coached people, and I would coach people that were much older than me, much wiser than me, a lot more life experience than me. And at first I was hesitant about it because I thought that people would ask for my feedback and my ideas, and they would want me to give them the answers. But I was pleasantly surprised at how amazingly the coaching process worked. I didn't have to provide a single idea to my clients because I was able to ask them questions that created breakthroughs for them. And they would leave sessions with insights from themselves that they didn't have access to before. So I want you to think of it this way. When you are a coach and you start working with someone, it's like they have this treasure chest inside of their brain. And there's a lock that's keeping them from getting inside of it. And inside this treasure chest is all of the insights and ideas and breakthroughs and everything they could possibly need. They just don't know how to get inside. They just need help unlocking that treasure chest. That's what you do as a coach. You're helping the client unlock the treasure chest inside their brain so they connect to all of the wisdom, all the genius that has always been there, okay? Now, when you're working with a client, it's very important for you to see your client as powerful, as wise, as insightful, because if you don't, then you're going to feel that it's your responsibility to problem solve on your client's behalf. And this is sometimes a challenge that consultants have when they do enroll in the academy and when they begin learning coaching, because their initial approach is, oh, let me tell you what to do. So they just feel that they know better, and it's coming from a good place, right? It's not your fault if you do this, because you're probably coming from a good place where you just want to help, you want to solve. You want to remove the client's pain as quickly as possible. But the practice and the discipline that you'll have is in resisting that, not just trying to problem solve for your client, but rather hold space for them to connect to their inner genius. And now this is going to be really frustrating and difficult for you as you get started, but that's why you're going to get a lot of support and mentorship, and we're going to guide you to make sure you're knowing exactly how to do this effectively. So the beautiful thing that happens when you start to transition from a consulting background into coaching is you begin to realize just how incredibly insightful people are. And what's also beautiful is you realize that just because you were able to accomplish something your way, your one way, doesn't mean that that's the only way to go from A to B. So I know for me, when I have achieved any goal in my own life and I've gone from A to B, I know that that's what's worked for me. That's been my path. And I know as well that that's not necessarily going to be the same exact path that all people after me will take. And that's where coaching comes in. It helps people discover their unique path forward and trust in that process as it unfolds, so that way they get all the results that they want in their life. And I think one of the other coolest things about experiencing coaching and offering it is that clients feel so empowered. Okay. Sometimes when we just give someone a solution and we tell them, go out and do this, it's kind of like throwing a Band-Aid on something, on like a gushing wound. And we know that it's going to require more than that. We can't just slap a Band-Aid. We can't just give someone an aspirin and say, okay, you're going to be fine. We've got to help someone realize that they are more powerful and wise than they see themselves to be. Because what will happen if we just tell someone, oh, go do this, and then they go out and do it, but then they hit their next challenge or they try to get to the next level and they get stuck, they are still feeling like they don't have the resources within to take any action. So they believe that they need to search outside for those answers. Coaching helps people uncover those answers within and begin to have this incredible trust in yourself that you weren't accessing before. And I think that's one of the coolest things when you work with a client, especially over a period of time, they start to trust themselves more. They start to feel empowered. They start to take action even when they're uncertain. They start to generate ideas even when they don't know yet if those ideas are going to work. And I think that is such a beautiful process to witness when someone's able to go from not believing in themselves to believing in themselves and knowing that if or when they fall down, they can get back up and they could try something again instead of just feeling like they need to rely on someone else. They get to take responsibility for their results and their success, and you get to be their biggest supporter along the way as their coach. You get to be the person that encourages them when they have success and also provides them that support when they don't, to keep them on track, to keep them accountable. And that's one of the last differences between therapy, coaching and consulting, is that consultants often don't offer some form of accountability with their clients, whereas accountability is one of the cornerstones to coaching. So when you have clients leave a coaching session and they have their plan, they have their ideas, they go and take action, you're going to find that they're not always going to follow through. And they're going to need to be held accountable. So as a coach, one of the important skills that you'll use is accountability. And this is one of the skills that we teach in the academy. How do you hold your clients accountable to make sure that nothing gets in their way of their plan? Because when you're given a plan, it's like, okay, here's your blueprint. And just imagine someone and they're standing there and they have their blueprint, they have everything they need, or they have their map, and they're standing in front of the forest in front of them. They have the entire map to navigate through it, but they're feeling so overwhelmed and they're feeling confused. They have the solution, they're holding it, but they're too afraid to step forward. They're getting stuck. This is where accountability comes in. This is where coaching comes in to help uncover those challenges that people are going through, those things that people don't expect. So those are some of the key distinctions between consulting and coaching. Remember, you are able to offer both. If you're a consultant right now, then think about how offering coaching might not just give you more ways to stand out because you'll have that experience and you'll have that training, but also how you're going to help your clients get better results, because ultimately that's what this is all about. How could you help someone get the best possible results? So if you're a consultant right now and you find that sometimes you're giving, your expert recommendations to people, you're telling them exactly what they need to do, but they're falling short. They are not following through. There's missing pieces. They're afraid. They are procrastinating, right? There's something that you need to understand, and that's how to support people through their inner blocks. And that's where coaching comes in. So if you're already a consultant right now, how can offering coaching and learning coaching expand your practice and help your clients get faster results? All the time, we have students come and see the academy and they have done some form of consulting or they're currently doing that, and they realize they need more. Their clients need more support. And that's where they decide, you know what, it's time to offer coaching. And a lot more people, especially organizations, when they're looking to hire consultants, they also find and look for consultants that have training and coaching as well. So I'm hearing that more and more these days, that when organizations look to bring in outside support, they really, really find value in when a consultant also has a coaching background, so they can infuse both coaching and consulting, coach-sulting into the support that they give. Okay, so those are the key differences between coaches and consultants, two different ways to support clients. And before I go, I'm going to share with you a quick snippet from one of our students inside the academy. So here's their story, and I will see you in the next episode.
Hi, my name is Bill Grant, and I have been a real estate broker for 22 years. It has been a rewarding career, but after 22 years, I've decided it's time to try something different, or at least just add something to my current career. People have been telling me for years I've been a great listener, and they enjoy telling me all of their problems, and I've been helping them. And I decided that a coaching career might be a wise thing to look into. I have learned more about myself and my thinking by going through this coaching program. I was being coached, I was learning by other students being coached, and I was learning when I was coaching other students. I have been coached on relationships. I'm now in a relationship. I have been coached on some money issues. Now my money stuff is, falling into place. I came out the other side having stopped therapy. I have gotten the confidence that I lacked in the beginning to now seek out my coaching clients. I know where to look for them. I know how to reach out to them. And I see this as, I don't want to say a career, but it's more of a calling. This is something that I was meant to do. I am going to specialize in gay men in recovery. I'm now at the point where I have the confidence and the passion to let the real estate business go. And I'm now going to be pursuing this as a full-time career. And initially I was thinking it was not going to be as lucrative as the real estate business could be, but now that I've learned how the business operates and my passion, I realize that because I love it so much, it could be and will be more lucrative than the real estate business. I can't say enough about the school. The instructors are wonderful. The other students, the quality of other students are terrific. You have to apply to the school. They don't take anybody. So it's a very select group of people. So it's a nice environment. I had an amazing shift halfway through the program. I was learning a lot, but there was still this internal walls saying that I really couldn't do this. I was too shy, didn't know enough. And after that training session where we were intensely coached on being shy, whatever the blocks were holding us back from the business aspect of it, of putting ourselves out there, I came out the other side a new person. I had the self-esteem and knowledge that I was now a coach. I wasn't becoming a coach, I was now a coach. I am now, thanks to the program and the instructors, very cognizant of the gifts I have to impact the world. I would recommend this program to everybody. Someone who's just starting out in life and wants to start a career in coaching, I would recommend this to someone who is in a career and say they're in human resources or something, and this would really augment their career path and help them move forward in their chosen career, as well as people like myself who have been in other careers. While successful and satisfying, they're not really their true calling. This has been something that's been in the back of my mind. It's something I might want to do, like a long unfulfilled dream. And I think there are a lot of people out there like me who think they might want to do this and are afraid to make the leap, whether for financially, whatever their reasons are. I would recommend them investigating the school and speaking to one of the people in the admissions office, because I think it would really be a wise choice. I would suggest trusting your instincts. Your inner voice is telling you to do this. The financial investment in the school is minimal for the return that you're going to find. And I think the time is not that much based on how much you're going to learn and how much you personally are going to be transformed as a person.
Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coach's secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.